You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason.
And today we're going to talk about probably your least favorite aspect of my personality.
Well, no. I mean, there's way more things I don't like about you. I'm just kidding. No. That's a kind of a heavy way to start the conversation. First, let me ask you then, what's your least favorite aspect of me, if we're going to go into this?
Probably the opposite of what your least favorite aspect of me is, which I'm a little bit of a people pleaser, and you are absolutely not at all.
I mean, I like people to be happy.
Do you, Jason?
You know, not at the expense of, my family.
Buckle up.
Oh,
we're
gosh.
in for a good one.
We're going to have to turn the ducks after this one. So, would you consider yourself a chronic people pleaser?
No, I'm getting better. So I see people all the time say they're a recovering people pleaser or whatever. I don't think that I'm necessarily recovering yet, but I'm aware of my people pleasing tendencies. And I'm trying not to be a people pleaser, more of a person with a servant heart.
Okay. And so how do you make that distinction?
I think people pleasing is whenever you are trying to control someone's happiness, like you feel like you can influence that. And also through your actions, you are assigning like self-worth.
Uh-huh.
You gain self-worth through doing things for other people.
And their reaction to what you did.
Right.
You're seeking their approval.
Yeah. Yeah. And then being a person with a servant heart is just someone who is helpful and generous, but you're not putting worth on yourself for any reason. Like you're just doing it because you know that you should be kind and loving and honor them. And then you're also not trying to influence their happiness. You're just trying to be helpful.
Yeah. It sounds like a very difficult distinction to make. Sounds very, very thin line. Like that. I'm not sure it would be easy to.
It's kind of like your inward motivations. It comes from within, really, your intentions.
So you're saying that you've switched, or are you in the process of switching?
Maybe I'm in the process of switching and I'm aware of it and I have to hold myself back. But also, one way that I used to be such a people pleaser, and I had to stop because you basically told me, like, don't do this.
Or the ducks will be turned around forever.
I would sacrifice your free time. Like, I would people please via you by volunteering you whenever I didn't have a skill or an ability. Okay. I'd be like, oh, Jason can do that.
There's the root of why it's my least favorite aspect of your personality is for years. Oh, Jason would love to do this. Or
I probably never said Jason would love.
Okay,
I'd say Jason could do that.
Jason can do that because I want to see you happy and then I get social credit for his doing something.
The thing is, you never really ended up doing a lot of the stuff that I would say because you would just say no.
I had things going on.
But I would say I can ask Jason or.
Well, that was a little bit of the transition. Like I can ask him, which isn't much better because I'm like,
Now I just don't say anything at all. If I can't be the one to do it, then I'm not volunteering anyone else.
Well, that's probably a good rule of thumb, honestly.
Yeah.
However, your own actions do have consequences on others, like your family. You may volunteer to do something, but that means, well, what are the rest of us doing? Well, I have to cook now. I'm just kidding.
Pretty much you're going to be the bad guy in this.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like, it does sometimes
I don't come out of this looking clean at all. I should probably just let you finish this one out. I'll go into the living room or something. Yes, both sides of it. I'm on the opposite extreme side of it, of the contrarian type of mentality, I guess. I don't want to say I don't like people. I like people.
Here, you don't really care about
You don't really care about people.
No, it's weird. You have a deep love for your family, but beyond that, I don't think you're really thinking about other people in their life.
That is a flaw of mine. I don't think about others outside of my immediate family nearly as much.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is interesting that we're kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum.
I'm willing to be like, my family can suffer. Let me help you.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. How can I serve you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is it hard for you to say no to people?
Yeah, so there's a few different things there. I have FOMO, fear of missing out on like everything. Um, people who say they want to just stay home and chill in their pajamas and veg out.
I
That
mean,
doesn't sound fun to me.
yeah.
But I do enjoy it when we do that, but I never want to do that, basically.
Oh, I don't either, but yeah. But I don't translate that into who can I help today?
Well, yeah, it's like, oh, somebody's moving. Oh, they need help carrying things.
Ooh,
Like,
moving.
I,
Oh,
what if somebody says something funny and I miss it? I don't know. You can have a lot of like good fellowship and bonding and friendships built. See, that's one thing. People build friendships through experiences, even if they're not fun experiences. That's why it was so easy to make friends in high school and college. Like you have other people organizing all of these experiences for you.
yeah.
And you're just like going and doing it. Even if it was hard or horrible, like gym class. I can think of so many times.
Well, you're forced into situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as adults, we choose to avoid that for some reason.
We're busy. We're in situations and doing our own thing, whether it's with our family or with work or whatever. We have those responsibilities that we never had before. Our responsibilities were to accomplish those tasks given to us by others as kids. Like you got to go through school. You got to go through your first job. You have to go to this youth camp or something. We're putting you in. You have to do sports. You have to, like, there are those situations. You may have some choice and some liberties there, but I mean, overall, you're told to do a lot of things, and so are a lot of other kids. And so you're all just in it together. You're in this,
So then you develop relationships
and so
and
you have
bonding
to choose
and
to
shared
do that as an
experiences.
adult.
Yeah. And you're not going to choose that.
No, because I have other things going on.
Mhm.
And I'm not kind. If somebody is actually in need,
Yeah.
I'm very, very on guard about people taking advantage of me.
People's level of need, too.
Correct.
I think. And part of that's probably from being a pastor's kid. I
Uh,
mean, you saw several people take advantage of your
or
parents.
try to. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing to me. You'll like dissect someone's actual level of need, and I'm more like, they're in need.
I mean, not to a weird degree. It's just more
No.
of I'm more calculating, like, did they actually need me to do this, or do they just not want to
Want to
do
do
it
it
themselves?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying that that's the kindest approach to take. I understand that, but I don't know where that comes from. I really don't. But I don't know where you're
Like hyper need, probably
hyper.
from my parents. I mean, my parents made some questionable decisions because they were overly helpful. Like one time they let a homeless woman, sleep upstairs with me in the same house, like no locks.
In the same bedroom?
Not in the same bedroom. She had her own bedroom.
Did they know her?
No,
When did they meet her?
that day.
That's I would put that in the category of questionable. Yeah.
And just like
Upstairs?
constantly, yeah,
Not
upstairs.
on the couch?
Nope. She had a room right down the hall from my room.
Interesting.
And the worst part about it is they found a trash bag of counterfeit money after she left in the closet. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Did I not tell you this?
No. That's incredible.
Really poorly cut $5 bills.
Oh.
And
Did you try any of them?
no. I think my mom just threw it away. She was just
Oh.
like, oh, That was
So
interesting.
that's overly kind.
Yeah.
That's too far kind, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
Tom
mean,
and Kathy. I mean, you guys are like the kindest people I know.
I know. That's the
But
thing. My parents would like give anything to help anyone.
I
And
know.
that's probably where I get it. And I think, I mean, they've probably, growing up, sacrificed their family's comfort in order to help people. Like they were always the first people at church, like setting up the chairs and doing all that. They
That's a
were
good
always the
trait,
ones.
though.
Yeah, I
That's a
know.
really good
So
trait.
I think it's hard to be like, where is it like a servant's heart and where is it people pleasing?
Yeah. I feel like this person who just, you know, I don't want to do anything for anybody. But honestly, it comes from, it's not a selfishness thing. It's not because I want to sit there and watch Netflix. It's not because I want to
No.
sit there and watch them. It's because, and I'm not saying this is a good trait necessarily. I have so much on my plate, and I have for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine adding something else,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm already behind on about 10 other things. I'm very, very busy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a jerk. I've already I've come I've gotten to the
You're not
point
a jerk,
I've gotten to the
Jason.
point
You're not
now.
a jerk. You are guarded.
I know, but like it comes across as you're a little bit of a jerk because I've been asked a lot
Mm-hmm.
and I've said no
It
a
is.
lot.
It's really tricky being the video guy. Basically, anything you go to, anything you're a part of, they're like, "Oh, Jason should make us a video."
Do you know how
And it's
hard it is
like
to make video?
people think that you'll just show up and have a grand plan, and like I think you would be more willing to if you didn't have to also basically script it and write it and organize it. If you just were showing up and taking a couple clips of video because it was perfectly
Well,
orchestrated.
the other thing too is it's not my just hobby
Hmm.
anymore. It's not just something I got good at one time. It's something I do all day, every day,
Yeah. So
all the
it's sort
time.
of like having a friend who's a doctor and being like, hey, could you look at this rash? Or
Sorry, Jeremy.
or somebody who I'm thinking like does nails. You wouldn't ask them to come to your house and do your nails. You would go to them during their
I
business
feel really
hours,
bad
right?
for anybody who's listening to this who is about to ask, like, oh, or has asked in the past, like, Jason, he knows how
Jason
to
can
do
make a
video.
video.
I will. If we're friends, let's talk.
So
I might
one
say
person,
no. Rude. I have friends.
two, three now.
I have like 4 friends if you count people who live across the United States.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait. If you count that, you probably have five.
maybe.
Mm-hmm. Wait, are we counting that one guy that we had that conversation with one time in his RV?
Of course.
What's his name?
Rich?
Yeah.
It's not one conversation. We spent the summer with him. Rich is one of my best friends.
That was 10 years ago.
Rich and Marie, how you guys doing? I haven't talked to you in a few years, but I hope you're doing well. I didn't expect this to be so much about me. I thought we had talked bad about you for
You can talk bad
an
about
hour,
me.
but
No, let's think about times.
my
There.
duck's just falling off the wall. That's not. It's not even being turned. It's just
Okay,
falling off the
no.
wall.
Okay, here's a good example. There is a pattern of behavior in our relationship where I get terribly taken advantage of, and I'm fully aware of it. And you stand by and you're like, I can't believe you're letting this happen. And you're like I come home and I'm like, oh, well, okay, here's an example. We used to work at Boys Town and we talked about that previously. And you left to start pursuing writing full time, and I stayed on as an assistant family teacher, which means I was supposed to assist the family teachers and one night a month, I guess, or maybe like one day a week. I'm not sure what the rules were. I would be alone with the
I think it was
boys
2, usually. Maybe.
2 days a week,
I think
two
so.
nights,
2
2 days
nights.
a week.
Yeah.
They could leave,
Maybe 1 or 2. Okay.
and I'd be by myself.
Yeah, with like 8 or 9 teenage boys.
And that's fine. But what happened is every time I was there, I was by myself because they were taking advantage of me. And it wasn't supposed to be that way. It was just supposed to be on occasion. And so I just kept letting it happen, but I kept coming home and complaining to you.
Yeah.
Like, I was alone again, which just makes it really hard because it's supposed to be a group team effort.
Yeah.
And then the guys are kind of missing
Not
out
just
too.
not just I was alone again. It was like, no, that was a really, really hard night and I needed help. I needed so much help. And well, then like sometimes the other person would be out there that you're supposed to be working with, but he'd have his headphones on and be on his iPad.
That's
Just
true.
ignoring.
No, that happened after I finally went to our director and I said, listen, I'm by myself all the time and this isn't right. Nudging from you because you're like, you got to stop this, Emily. So I went and talked to him. He had a conversation with them. And so there was like this blatant dig at me by sitting out there on his iPad with his headphones on. Like he was quote unquote there, but he wasn't really there.
So that aspect of your people pleasing is more not standing up for yourself because you don't. Is that more of a fear of conflict or just a fear, which is in a way people pleasing?
Yeah, wanting to avoid conflict at all cost.
Yeah. Which goes fully against like the idea of just ever saying no. Do you even say no now?
I've gotten better. I have a friend who, Mandy, if you're listening to this, she is so good about being like, if you can't do this or you don't want to do this, just say no. And I kind of got to practice on her saying, no, we can't make it today, or no, that's not going to work out for us. And she would applaud me. Like, way to go saying no. I'm proud of you for putting your family first.
That's really awesome.
I know. And so it kind of gave me the confidence to be like, no, I can't do that.
Here's what that does, though. That gives you the confidence to say no, but it also like makes you more likely to say yes to her because you know that she's considerate of your life.
True. Yeah.
And that's probably a great, well, I don't want to say strategy, but it's a great, way to approach things.
Yeah.
For anybody on both sides of it.
Here's the problem, though. Once you start saying no, then you can easily
Feels good, doesn't it?
You're like, no, I don't want to do that.
Feels great.
No,
and
I'm not going to hang out with you. That's effort.
Yeah.
No. Like I could feel myself sometimes saying no when I really didn't need to say no. You have to find the balance, like, it really would be easier for me not to take my kids out and meet you at the park. So, you know what? We're just having kind of a rough day.
Yeah. I mean, that's valid.
Is it? You could go the opposite of people pleasing and just become like self-pleasing.
Well, see, I don't think I'm that far.
No, I don't think you are either.
Gone. I'm more just like, I don't want the inconvenience of like, I have I have more to do. I have work to do.
Basically work, yeah.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily healthy. I understand that. I mean, I need to probably work less. I don't know. But
it's kind of funny because we're just making funny videos. You know what some people, that's what it feels like to some people. But we're running a business. We are self-employed, and there's we're
scheduled for you to be on a horse today. For a video.
I know. There's a lot that goes to it. And whenever we're filming, like, we are the ones filming.
Yeah.
And then we are the ones editing. We are the ones orchestrating. We are the ones writing. So it takes a lot more time than I bet people would realize.
Yeah.
And because it was taking more time from me, you have started like carrying more of the work.
Yeah.
So
I have kind of my problem about saying no is like I preach, say no. I tell you all the time, just say no. But what you may not realize about me is that I don't ever say no. I hardly ever say no. I have a much worse problem and approach to this, and it's not kind.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're about to say, and I do realize this about you, but it's only because you told me.
Yeah.
You have given me this advice. What is it, Jason?
I ghost people.
Just ignore them. Don't answer the text.
If I get a request and if I don't want to do it, I ghost. And if I'm fairly close to that person and I just can't, a lot of times I might like, yeah, let me get back to you on that.
That is so rude.
And
You have tried to tell me to do that before. You're like, just don't answer.
just don't
What do you
answer.
mean, just don't answer?
I'm working on it. For those of you out there thinking, man, he is a jerk. I'm working on it. We're both in a spot where we need to learn to say no
Mm-hmm.
instead of me just being a jerk and you just being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Mine's way worse. The more we talk, the more I'm realizing, like, this is therapeutic. I need to be kinder to people just in general. Hey, I will say, this has nothing to do with people pleasing or whatever, but from our other podcast about like being in the moment and stuff, I did go to the DMV the other day because
The DMV.
my license has been expired since February and I've been driving illegally.
It just so happens on that very same day I got pulled over.
Wow, I'm glad it wasn't me. Have me in handcuffs. Like, realize your license been expired for 37 years. No, I didn't. I purposefully, at the DMV,
Yeah, that's a hard place.
purposefully did not pull out my phone
Mm-hmm.
and just sat there.
How did that serve you?
And immediately, a guy sat down next to me, an older gentleman, probably 60 something, I don't know, sat down next to me and talked to me the entire, we waited for like 30, 40 minutes. The entire time we just talked about, he's getting his CDL license or renewing it or whatever. We talked about trucks, talked about licenses and traveling across the U.S., him driving a school bus. And honestly, it was one of the most refreshing experiences of my life.
That's great.
Now,
Is he one of your 5 friends?
Yeah. Yeah. Roger. Actually,
Wait. Okay, I was gonna say, is his name really Roger?
No.
Was he on his little radio like Roger?
Roger, this is Roger. No, I don't know what his name was. We didn't get that far.
You didn't ask to see his license pic?
That would have been a strategy to find out his name, or I could have asked him, but no, I didn't. We knew we were at the DMV and that we would never see each other again.
Mhm.
But Roger, if you're out there,
friend.
what?
A little while friend.
Yeah,
That's
a
what
little
we used to
moment.
call
He
him.
was number 6.
Don't
for that.
change it from little while to little moment. This is a lifelong thing for
Oh.
me, Jason. We've always called them little while friends. My family.
Oh, your family.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've never heard that
No, you
term
just
in my
went
life.
little moment friend.
Little moment friend.
No, that doesn't have the same ring.
Okay.
It's a little while friend.
To be fair, I didn't know this was a thing.
If
Okay.
you go to the park and you play with a kid, not me as an adult now, but when I was
Yeah.
a kid, they're like,
Well, you might have a little while friend with the parent,
yeah, deep bonding moments.
Yeah.
And you know that it's not going to continue post that. It
That's
could.
happened so many times to me,
Yeah.
usually when I'm traveling.
Yeah, it's just a little while friend.
It's really sad
Mhm.
because you meet that kindred spirit.
Yeah.
And you know that well, here's the thing though, maybe if you actually lived next to that person, you would hate them. You never know.
No, there's this guy, Boaz.
Oh, Boaz.
Yeah,
I love you, man.
you submitted your video for review on a big
wedding video.
Yeah, wedding video.
Mhm.
Who was it? Big YouTuber?
Who is Matt Johnson?
Okay, yeah.
He does wedding stuff. Yeah.
So he would watch your video,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a video that came before yours, and it was far better.
It was so much better than mine.
Like, way more epic. To be fair, the wedding's budget was far more epic than your wedding that you filmed, which does make a difference.
It does, but
Creating cinematic moments when you have
but
like
I'm
a
looking at-
$90,000 wedding.
But I'm still looking at his camera work, and I'm like, man.
Yeah. Actually, that wedding was probably $500,000.
Oh, maybe.
Easy. What do you think?
Probably.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
They actually released butterflies and they didn't die like ours.
They knew how to do it.
Yeah. They bought the primo butterflies.
Our butterflies were
dead
not
stock.
dead stock.
So anyway, you reached out to him because you needed help filming a video.
Yeah.
And you were like, this dude is good. And he's what, like 18 or something?
No, he's 20. I think he might be 22, 23 now. I'm
Okay.
not sure. But
So-
yeah.
You asked him to help and you guys totally connected.
Yeah.
Clicked. But
Well,
he lives like 6 hours from you.
Yeah, we worked a wedding together, and it's like, wow, he's my best friend ever. It's a little weird. I'm at the time 35. He's 20. It's cool. It's awesome.
That was just an example of a little while friend.
Yeah. He was a good little while friend. I will occasionally text,
Really?
but not lately. But I
Mm,
need to text him right now.
yeah.
Hold on. He's one of my 5 friends. Um,
Speaking of friends, why don't we do comments of the week and then we'll get back at this people
yeah, we did
pleasing thing.
deviate, so we might as well deviate a little further. Comments of the week brought to you by the comments section.
I chose the comments of the week this
You did.
week, so
This was on Cicada Geddon. We have been in Cicada Geddon. This is from, sorry,
it's Healthy Darcy.
Healthy Darcy.
Hmm.
We have been in Cicada Geddon for 4 weeks now. It's horrible. It's so loud I can't stay out for more than a few minutes at a time. Even my outside loving dog doesn't want to go out. And the other night I accidentally left the garage door open for a couple of hours later than usual, and there were so many cicadas my husband had to leaf blow them out because the broom wasn't enough. We still have some weeks left from before they are done, and I'm ready to pack up and move.
Ugh.
That
Leaf blow
sounds
them out. It sounds horrible.
ugh.
I'm still waiting. Here we are. It feels hot outside. I'm sure the soil is 64 degrees and they still haven't emerged.
Maybe
It's
they won't.
so strange. Usually we have a ton of cicadas anyway.
Yeah,
It's so loud in
they'll
the summer.
come.
I've been curious what it's going to sound like with a double brood,
Yeah.
and
Which you
I'm just
posted,
waiting.
you posted a story the other day, and everybody thought it was yours with cicadas just covering the trees and ground and stuff. You were actually reposting somebody
Yeah, I
else's.
shared somebody's. They sent
Yeah.
it to me
A
in
lot of
their
people are
stories.
like, "What? This is happening at your house?"
Oh, I didn't see that.
Not yet.
No, not yet, and hopefully not. But that was in Southern Illinois, so that's our area.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
get
was it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we just went to Southern Illinois for a hike at Rimrock. Amazing place. If you happen to live in the area, go check it out. And there were cicadas everywhere, but it wasn't super loud. But we could see them on all the leaves and stuff. It was really cool. I have this idea, and I think it would be really fun. People sell merch for big events that happen, like one of my friends bought an Eclipse t-shirt. People just set up and sell merch.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what if I made earrings out of the cicada wings? Because they're so cool looking. They look like,
What would you like? Put them
stained
in a
glass.
resin or something?
yeah, put them in resin, like Cicada Geddon earrings. Think it could be cool,
Sounds
Jason.
like $1 million
Our next-
idea.
Free. It's totally free. I mean,
Of
we gotta
course
buy
it's
the earring hooks.
free because you're a people pleaser.
No, I'm
do you
not
mean?
talking about giving them away for free. I'm talking about very low
Though
cost.
you totally would.
I totally would.
It's like, hey, here's an earring.
I
made
know.
these.
I want to be a flower farmer. I would love to be a flower farmer, but I don't want to sell my flowers. I just want to give them away.
You want to be a flower farmer so you can give friends and people you meet bouquets for free.
Yeah, I love giving away bouquets. That fills my cup. I keep hitting the microphone. That fills my cup so much.
I think that's okay. If we're getting back to people pleasing, which we have another comment, but I'll give it's okay. That's where I'm hung up. Is it okay? Because people pleasing gets such a bad rap. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
If it fills your cup to make somebody happy, again, where's that line?
It is like it has to be. Are you doing this because you want to? Right?
Is there something
So-
wrong with that?
No, I don't think there's something wrong with that. I'm saying I want to give people bouquets, and that would be fine. Where
Okay.
the danger is I don't really want to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. Right?
I guess.
But then it's okay to do things you don't want to do. Like sometimes that's necessary.
I guess in the bouquet situation, you're giving away bouquets for the praise of it, and it's also putting a financial strain on your family.
That would be where it's people pleasing. I'm not doing that.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
saying that would be where it gets into like toxic people pleasing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, looking for the praise. Like, yeah. Where
Yeah,
you're
well, yeah,
defining your self-worth over their reaction to the
Right.
bouquet.
Yeah. Well, even just doing it for the reaction, though, I mean, it's nice to get a little bit of, hey, thanks.
I will say sometimes when I do something nice and I don't get a thanks, then I'm like,
They're a
What?
little bit bummed out.
I know.
Yeah.
I went out of my way to do this, and that person was not even
I was
grateful.
doing this for the thank you, and I didn't get the thank you.
I wouldn't say that I'm like that, but sometimes I do feel that. Like, could you not be a little more grateful?
Yeah.
That's not good. That's toxic.
I will say, I'm not tooting my horn here, but I think we are very grateful people when people do nice things for us. Like I go out of my way to thank you so much. You
Mm.
probably because I'm more of a that is
You
such
want
a
the thanks?
monumental task. If I were to be asked to do that, like
Yeah.
sometimes I've been like it's like helping somebody move or something, which I'm happy to do, especially if I know you or whatever. But like there've been times where I've looked at people and everybody's helping out and just everybody's chipper and happy. I'm like, why are you people happy? This is awful. I didn't say it, but I'm thinking it like,
Jason's like, I'm only here for the free pizza.
yeah, well, yeah. Or did you want me to do the other
Yeah,
comment?
let's hear it.
All right, the other comment. What video is this from?
It's from the bee one where
Oh,
you killed a bee.
okay, but
Murderer.
yeah, it happens. Okay, but have you seen the people
From
who?
Seven Crazy Soups,
Oh,
longtime follower, has been commenting on almost every single video for as many years as we've been making them. Thank you for your support.
are the soups good?
Probably.
Yeah, there's 7 of them. I don't wait. Is that like is their family name Soup and there's like 7 of them?
I don't know. That's
Or
cute.
does she got 7 signature soups
I don't
that
know. I
she
feel bad that I haven't further investigated
well,
where the name came from.
I think you should find out.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. But have you seen the people who raise or order bees and sting themselves on purpose in their spine for the medicinal effect?
I have seen that, and it's really cool. And this comment got me thinking, wait, that's kind of mean. They're using the bees to like heal themselves somehow with the venom, or I don't know exactly how it works. Is it venom if it doesn't come from their mouth? No, I've heard the word bee venom.
I don't
Haven't
know.
I?
I have
I
no
don't know.
idea.
We're not in, we don't know. But anyway, they're like killing the bees to do this. So that's kind of sad. But then I started thinking, wait, am I not doing that when I'm eating meat? I am using an animal to serve my purposes. And then that's a fast track to being vegan.
Yeah. I can't do that.
That's cool. We need to look into that more.
I'm good.
What I have seen that I really am super interested in is these hives that they're almost like a coffin. Like you can get in there and lay in there. It's not a coffin, that's just how it looks. You get in and you lay on the hive, and the vibration of all the bees and the heat of their wings.
Are they in there with you?
You're separated from them.
Oh, good.
They're in a hive,
like
and then you're in a box on top of the hive, and you close it up, and it's super dark, and there's like this, the buzzing of the bees, all of them, enough to fill a hive as big as your body.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really therapeutic massage, sort of, because it's vibrating and the warmth. My friend keeps bees, and I helped her move. She's getting new ones. I helped her move them to her backyard, just carrying this box of bees. It was so warm.
Yeah.
Just one little box. Think about a whole colony. That would be so delightful.
That kind of thing just doesn't really do it for me. I don't know.
So you're not interested in investing in my new company in the backyard?
Will it make money?
Maybe. Do you think someone would pay $20 for 30 minutes to go lay back there on our bees?
Someone would. Yeah.
Paducah might not be our
I don't know
market.
about a, massive amount of people.
What if I added the chicken pecking massage?
According to Psych Central, the traits of people pleaser, agreeableness, conflict avoidance, self-sacrificing, having no boundaries, dependent, low self-esteem, anxious, helpful, friendly. Some of these traits are really great traits.
Yeah.
Some of them are, and some of these traits may be perceived positively. Some are exhibited to an excessive level that can be harmful. And some also people pleasing can come from like trauma
Mm.
in someone's past.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I could definitely see that.
yeah.
That's really sad. Yeah, I definitely think that people who have had traumatic experiences, especially abuse, would feel the need to please someone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really sad.
Yeah. There are some more lighthearted stories about people pleasing that I pulled from BuzzFeed.
Wait, before you go into this, I do want to mention I feel like people pleasing, and I just thought of this, could go hand in hand with permissive parenting, which
Oh,
is
tell me
interesting.
more.
'Cause you would say that is like one of my fatal parenting flaws is being a little too permissive.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably right. Like, I want my kids to be happy. It's not that I want my kids to like me. I want to like make sure everybody's happy, make sure everything is just going smoothly. What do I always say?
Kind and calm.
Let's be kind and calm.
It works every time she
Kind
says
and
it.
calm. I just feel like when you're parenting, if you're doing it in kindness and calm, then you're going to make better choices.
Well, yeah, that's ideal. But the kids drive you up a wall, and it's like,
Just be kind and calm.
yeah,
Kind and calm. But if we can
you're
get
starting
them,
to trigger me a little bit. Like I'm getting a little bit angry just hearing you say kind and calm, kind and calm. It's like it's the opposite effect.
well, so maybe people who are generally people pleasers struggle with being permissive parents. So maybe that would be a good opportunity to set firm boundaries, starting with your kids.
And be authoritarian.
Is that the bad one? I
No,
always get authoritative and authoritarian
I think
confused.
authoritative
I know.
is the
I've
not
read
as bad one.
way too many parenting books to still get confused on that.
I would
Authoritarian's
say
good.
reading too many parenting books is just you're asking for confusion.
I know. Everybody has a different method.
You just kind of need to pick one and then just really go for it. I think the more parenting books you read, the more confused you are.
I could probably vouch for that.
Yeah, I've read a few and I'm like, whoa, this is not what the other book said.
What's your favorite?
Whole
Brain
the
Child.
Whole Brain Child. It really breaks down parenting. Well, it breaks down how to talk and approach your kids from really kind of where their brain is at a certain age on average.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you perspective of how they are perceiving things and how they're perceiving you. Now, my brain does not always allow me to remember where they are and how they're perceiving me.
That's why I'm always like wrapping my hand around the top of my head.
That's what you're doing?
Yeah,
I thought you were telling me to fix my hair.
No, I'm signaling they can't access their prefrontal cortex, Jason. They can't access
That's your hand signal? She's going from the back of her head to the front of her head with her palm. And it's like, that's your hand signal?
Yeah. Like, they can't access it. Whatever the back of their brain isn't able to reach it. They're not able to do it, Jason.
It looks like you're saying, your hair's
it.
sticking up. Get that right there.
You think that's what I'm doing whenever...
I'm like, what? You have a fly around your head? What are you doing? What do you want?
This is my secret signal. Like,
maybe we should set secret signals before we start doing them. Let's tell each other the secret signals first.
I thought it was so painfully obvious.
That's another thing. Okay, you want another flaw that bothers me the most? Like, this is one of my pet peeves. You assume I know what you are thinking, and I think this is probably a very relatable thing for anybody who's in a relationship. One person out of every relationship thinks the other person knows everything that's going on in their head. And you just like come up with a hand signal, like, you should know what this is. I'm telling you in my mind. I have no idea what you're doing.
Jason. Look at it. Look at it.
Yep. It's like I'm shining my forehead. Like, what do you What?
Do people shine their forehead?
They do shine their heads. Some guys who
Yeah, shave their head.
or
Shine
bald. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought that, wow, that person has a shiny head. And then I realized later they wax their heads.
It's on purpose.
That's kind of cool, but kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's very shiny.
Well, I think clearly you're right. Sometimes I definitely think that you know more than you do.
Thanks. I really appreciate that. No comment, I guess. So I'll just take that. Yeah. But
I don't know.
you just wanted to get that out there? Okay.
You're the one who said it.
Nice. All right.
Well, okay, yeah. I'm the failure here. I'm the more permissive parent.
Some of these stories from BuzzFeed about people pleasing, I'm kind of curious if you've been in situations similar or if you would have treated them the same way. The night after giving birth, I gave my ex-husband the hospital bed because he was complaining nonstop about how uncomfortable he was in the chair.
Wow. No, but also I didn't.
Would you do that for me?
First of all, I
sweetie,
think they were probably married at the time.
Yeah.
That's probably
he
what
wasn't
caused the divorce.
that moment. It's like, nope, that's not going to work.
There have been a few times where you have been just totally outrageously crazy insensitive.
Where are you going with this?
When you woke me by flicking me in the
forehead.
forehead.
Oh, come on. You have to get into this. Okay, well, you can't just leave it at that. You have to tell the story.
Have we not talked about
Not
this?
on the podcast.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we told it in a different podcast interview. I was asleep. Our child was a terrible sleeper, struggling. Our first child. I don't know. I decided to get some rest, and Jason came and woke me up for some reason. I don't know why. But he didn't do it by rubbing my shoulder or patting my back nicely. He came into the bedroom, like 6 months postpartum, in the throes of hardship, and just flicked my forehead over and over to wake me up. What in the world?
I don't know. I was looking for a lifelong fight. That's what I was doing. I was hoping, what's something I could do that she'll bring up every other day for the rest of our lives and never let me live it down. Oh, I've got it. I'm going to flick her on the forehead to wake her.
What were you thinking? I can't get my brain there. But it's about like this guy.
I don't know.
Did he take the bed? Did he do it?
I think so.
What?
I mean, the idea is that, yeah, she gave it up because he...
the night after
because she's a people pleaser.
Birth?
Yeah.
I would have just been like, dude, you should go home.
Just go home.
Yeah, I think I did that to you. But you stayed.
I wasn't trying to take your bed.
I know. But listen, this is another pro for having home births.
Yeah.
Everybody's in their own bed. There's plenty of sleeping surfaces.
If you can, yeah.
Yeah. I mean... I'm totally looking forward to it if we do it again if I am ever pregnant again. Not that I am pregnant right now. I feel like I have to give that disclaimer.
By the way, not pregnant. Yeah, every other message and comment. Hey, are you pregnant? It's like, no, I'm standing in front of a chair because the chair was there, not because I'm trying to hide a pregnant belly or something.
People say that I rub my belly weird. People will say that I hold my stomach in a way.
The truth is, you just have no idea what to do with your hands in videos.
That's true sometimes.
Just watch the videos sometimes. Her hands will be, weird. Look at her hands sometimes. So she doesn't know. I have to tell her, hey, you're doing weird things with your hands.
Just stop. Yeah.
Just stop.
It's true. But also, maybe I feel them.
Maybe it's
my womb.
A maternal instinct.
Yeah. And also, I had babies, so I have a womb that was stretched out.
Years ago, I apologized to my roommate who read my diary and confronted me when she read some not nice things I had written about her. I didn't even get mad that she had read my diary. I was just mortified that someone would know that I had said mean things about them. In my defense, she was a lot. That sounds kind of like you.
Oh, yeah. I can totally see that. I don't see anything wrong with that. You should be sorry. No, I mean... At least she wasn't saying it to someone else.
But I mean,
Unless she did say it
but
to
in
someone
that
else.
situation, you're mortified that
I don't
they
care that
read
she read my
something.
diary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she knows. She will remember that for the rest of her life. Somebody wrote something mean about her.
Well, you've had people talk bad about you. That's kind of like that hits home, I think.
I've talked bad about someone,
Well,
though. The most mortifying thing happened to me, and this is where I learned the lesson. Just don't say anything. Just don't
if you
say
don't
anything
have
if you
something
don't
good to
have
say, don't
something
say
nice
nothing at
to
all.
say. Yes, it took me until I was in high school to really learn that. And this is the worst. This was the very worst
Let's
thing.
hear it.
Because I'm generally, like, I like to think of myself as a fairly kind person. I'm not just going around thinking terrible things about people. But my math teacher got a perm, and it really looked bad. It looked awful, and it was almost
It's all
distracting.
subjective. Come on.
It was distracting. Anyway, later on, my band was doing a fundraiser at Backyard Burger where you ask people to put their receipts in a bucket.
Wait,
and
you were in a band?
my high school marching band.
Oh.
Uh, my marching band. So then we were at Backyard Burger, and we're just asking people to put their receipts in the bucket, and then like Backyard Burger would give a percentage of the sales. You know how those fundraisers go. Well, this guy came up and he was like, "Do any of you know Miss So-and-so?" I don't even remember her name. And I was like, "Yeah, man, that perm is awful." Like, why would I lead with that?
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
Not a best go-to.
It was just so bad. Well, it was her husband. And then I'm like, she's really nice. I really like her. She's a great teacher. I just don't like her perm. But he hated her perm too.
Oh.
He was not
So he
a
needed
fan.
some ammunition.
And so then he goes home and he's like, guess what?
Hey.
Nobody likes your perm. Told you so. You know, like.
By the way, Emily Simpson doesn't like your perm.
Yeah. I should have been like, I'm really concerned about her well-being. Do you know about the chemicals used in a perm? Just smell them. That would have been better. No.
Yeah.
So then she made me stay after class and confronted me and told me her perm is none of my business. And she is right. Except that you do get a perm for your outward appearance, right?
I mean,
that's what people are looking at. It's really none of my business. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to say anything bad about anyone's appearance ever again.
Go you.
Yep.
Nice life experience there.
I don't know how I got on that. See, now I'm just showing my jerk side.
I mean, it was like 20 years ago. So
It was.
I think you get a pass by this point. I stayed at a job I hated for way too long because I was afraid if I quit, my boss would hate me.
Oh, that's really sad.
I have never felt that a day in my life.
I haven't felt that either.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I have had some horrible bosses.
Yeah.
Is this podcast just me telling stories about all the awkward times in my life? Like, I feel like
Yeah, sure.
this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
But
just get it all out there.
yeah, I used to work at a shoe store, and this guy was hitting on me constantly and making really inappropriate comments to me while I worked at the shoe store. Well,
keep it G-rated.
I am. One time I bent over to set some boxes on the floor, and he popped my bottom. And like at the same time, my boyfriend was walking in and saw it,
Mm-hmm.
and he got so mad, rightfully so.
Yeah.
So he waited for us after work, and we were walking out. Like, it was dark when we got out of work, so he was walking me, my manager was walking me to my car, and my boyfriend was waiting at my car. He just wailed on that guy, just kept punching him in the face. And I had to say, like, whoa, stop. I started kicking my boyfriend, like, stop, that's enough, stop.
Sounds like Jerry Springer or
I know.
something. Like, that's like, what in the world?
He rammed him into the side of his car so bad it like dented the car door. It was really scary and awful. And they called the police, and I don't know, no charges were pressed or anything, but I never went back to work. I ghosted him. I took your advice. Bree, I just ghosted him. I don't care who hated me.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he had a broken nose after that
Wow.
and never went back to work.
Well, that sounds like a hootenanny.
Was that an inappropriate story to tell?
No, I mean, it is what it is. I had gotten a tattoo I hated because my tattoo artist thought it was sick, and I couldn't tell him I wasn't into it. Yikes.
Just find a new tattoo artist. Go get it removed.
Yeah.
Fixed over.
I continued paying my ex's school tuition after he ended our relationship.
Oh.
That's a rough one.
I mean, I've done boyfriend's schoolwork for them, but not after we broke up.
Not mine.
No, not yours. By the time we met, I was like, listen, I need a man who's going to take care of himself.
I never asked you to do my schoolwork.
No, you just failed on your
I
own.
never failed a class.
I mean, is getting a D really...
D's get degrees. D's get degrees as long as you have a couple of A's to offset the D's. You got to keep above that, a certain grade point average. But D's get degrees.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. Paying his tuition.
Yeah. Children, remember, D's get degrees.
No. Try your best.
Do enough to get by.
No. Excel.
You don't need what they're teaching you.
What?
Everything you'll learn
That's why.
the first year
He's
out
kidding.
of school.
Okay. That's why it's really important to think about what you want to do and try a variety of things. And sometimes college isn't for everyone.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is for you, but sometimes,
Yeah, it wasn't for me and I went.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
Is there any more?
That was the last one. Yeah.
So, has there ever been a time, Jason, that you were a people pleaser or that someone took advantage of you?
I don't know if there has been a time where I've been kind to people.
I'm not saying
I
that.
have been kind once.
It's different. It's different where
Okay, so being just because I need to know, I need to
you
feel
need their acceptance. You need to feel approved of. I know of one.
What?
It was with me. I just thought of it. And this I wrote about this in my book.
Anything I ever do, it's because I want you to like me.
I wrote this and then I ended up taking it out because I was like, I am
He's
a
gonna read
terrible person. No. When we were dating, you said you don't like peaches. And I was like, wait,
No, that's still in the book.
That's in the book?
Yeah, pretty sure.
No, well, I took out this part.
Oh.
I said, okay, here's an ultimatum. Either you're not a picky eater and I continue to date you.
How petty.
Or, I know. Or, if you're a picky eater, this relationship cannot work because food is too important to me. I don't want a picky eater in my life. I don't want to be married to a picky eater. And I knew that. And that is so shallow.
Yeah, pretty bad.
But you did it. You were like, okay, I won't be a picky eater. And you loved that peach, Jason.
It was good.
And
it's weird that the peach is something I was hung up on. But go ahead. Yeah.
Was it the fuzz? What?
Well, I just never had one.
How did you get to college never having had a peach is what I don't understand.
I was allowed to not eat them.
I don't get it.
Well, Alder will just look at something and say, ooh, I don't like that.
And then I say,
yeah, I mean,
we're going to try it.
You don't have, you don't have to like it, but you do have to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was never really enforced with me. And so
you would just
I could just pick something that it's not the same thing I have all the time. It's something different. I don't want different. Different could disappoint me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I have that in my, psyche now.
You
really,
changed.
Yeah.
You are not at all a picky eater.
But even just in regular life, I'm not afraid to change things up or whatever, just because, I'm not afraid of change. Whereas as a kid, I might have been.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's good. But I think that was one time that you were a people pleaser
Well, yeah.
for my approval. I was, whenever I was basically like, either
I'm like, that's shallow, but I got to do what I got to do.
you liked me enough.
I like her. Yeah.
That's funny. The other day, just saying that, you said, I'm the first girl you ever liked that you dated.
Sorry to whoever may be listening to this, but it's true.
What was happening? I don't remember. But you were just like, and that's why. I don't remember.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't date a bunch of people, but yeah, never really
Why were you dating them if you didn't like them? Just something to do.
Well, you have to see if you like them, I guess.
I feel like there's a spark beforehand. That's what leads you to ask her out.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, hey, I like you. You want to date?
Oh.
You don't just date.
Well, we'll see if this one works.
Like, did you think she would magically change? Or were you looking for her to be a people pleaser?
I've always just needed a people pleaser in my life. So I could be that curmudgeon contrarian.
Yeah.
No. Well, you've come a lot farther along than I have. We've come to the conclusion that I'm the one that needs to change again.
No, I still need to work on it. We both need to investigate our inner motivation.
Yeah.
And what is driving us and what are we trying to accomplish?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the happy balance is be kind to people.
One of my favorite lessons that I've learned in my life is be generous when you can.
Yeah.
Be generous with your time when you can. Be generous with your money when you can. Like, give as much as you can when you can. And then it's okay to say no, or it's okay to be reserved when it doesn't work out.
It is so interesting that we are coming at this from completely opposite directions, because that is a message you need to hear. That is a message I need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to be more open to be generous and kind when I can.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be more open to saying no.
It's not a good time.
When it's not a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully in my old age, I'll be a kind old man,
Not crotchety.
Not crotchety.
Get off my lawn.
I'm on the get off my lawn track. I need to get out of it. But anyway, everybody loves you. Has another reason to love you.
Because I
have video services that she's willing to offer anytime. Just email us at creators@reallyverycrunchy.com. I do video for free all day, every day.
That was fun exploring that topic with you. And you, listener, I would be curious to know, because I am a people pleaser, what you are. Thank you for listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure you leave a review and check out our show notes for more from Jason and me.
Thank you, everybody. See you next time.